Modding Skyrim with Vortex, Part 11, the SKYUI, Skyrim User's Interface, and the MCM, Mod Configuration Menu. Along with Fix Notes for SKYUI, Ghost Item Bug Fix, and Difficulty Persistence Fix.
Hello, it's Cupshot here again with another video in my series on how to modify Skyrim using Vortex. Today we're going to install SKYUI, Skyrim User's Interface, which modifies the inventory menus in the game. Then we're going to do the MCM, the Mod Configuration Menu, which will allow you to make changes to some of the parameters inside various mods. You'll understand it better by the time this video is finished.
Today we will be downloading the SKYUI mod. This mod is not necessary for gameplay. It's just a nice convenience. SKYUI overhauls the in-game inventory screens. We will look in Profiles briefly to make certain that the static mesh profile that we set up last time is active. I want to download the SKYUI into that profile. You could make a new profile and load the SKYUI into that like we did before, but we don't need to. We will start a new profile later. Starting new profiles is a bit like creating a backup file in case something goes wrong. You can see that there are 10 mods enabled. I will open Firefox and go to Nexus. After logging in and selecting Skyrim as our game, we can go into search and look for SKYUI. Press enter, and our search returns 176 mods. It seems like a lot, but we only need a couple, the main mod and a few patches. The main mod is over on the left. It's by Schlangster and has been downloaded 6 million times. We click on it and go to the SKYUI download page. We can scroll down and read about it. It says it's an elegant PC-friendly interface mod with many advanced features. When we look in the requirements, we see that all it needs is the Skyrim script extender, which of course we have. There are other mods that require us to have SKYUI, but since we are beginners, we need not worry about that as we probably will not be getting those mods. There is only one file to download. It says that it is a 7Z archive and supports installation with Nexus Mod Manager. 7Z is a zipped file. You don't have to worry about extracting it. Vortex will take care of that. We click on Mod Manager Download and get the reminder to have SKSE. We continue on to the slow download and end up at Vortex as we have become accustomed to. It's a small file that quickly downloads and installs. You can see it at the bottom of our mod list. There is a plugin that we can see here. Back in Profiles, we can see that we now have 11 mods in our 2SMIM profile. Let's take a moment to go back and look at our first profile. I will enable it so we can look at its mod list. You can see in the list that the 3 static mesh mods are disabled, as is the SKYUI mod. If I wanted to, I could enable them, and then they would be used in this profile. I'm not going to do that right now. It is not wise to turn mods on and off once you have started a game. If you save a game and turn a mod off, and then restart the game, you will probably get glitches, errors, or even crashes. You can add some kinds of mods, like visual enhancements safely, but others, like those that affect the storyline, could cause trouble. It's best to start a game with one set group of mods and keep them that way. If you want a different set of mods, make a separate profile and start a new game. I will go back to Profiles and re-enable the 2SMIM. Now we can again see all of our mods enabled. If you do things like this, switching back and forth between mods and profiles, it is always a good idea to press the Deploy Mod button up here to make sure that all of your mods are deployed. I will go back to Nexus and get a couple of small fixes for the SKYUI. The first one is the Fix Note icon. At the moment, if you were to look in the inventory, you would see that books and notes have the same icon. This mod changes the notes icon from a picture of a book to a picture of a note. It's a small change, and you certainly don't need to do it. It says that it is a manual download. And it tells us that it is an SKYUI plugin that fixes the letter note icon and type for SKYUI. We check to make certain that we have the requirements. When we look at files, we see that there are 9 of them. When we open the File tab, we can see that all 9 of the files are the same, except that they are for different versions of Skyrim. That is why it told us that it was a manual download. We have to choose our version of the mod. The top one is the one that I want. I can click on Mod Manager Download, and it becomes a regular download that installs the same way as our other mods. I'll return to Nexus and search for the SKYUI difficulty persistence fix. The description says that it fixes SKYUI gameplay settings menu in Skyrim version 6.1130, and that it is not compatible with older game versions. So if you have an older version of Skyrim, don't download this. As with most bug fixes, you can never be certain that you are fixing anything unless you have seen the problem show up. And here, I am being proactive and installing the fix without waiting to see the bug. There is only one file. We do the Mod Manager slow download as usual, and are taken to Vortex, where the mod is installed without difficulty. We can see that it is loaded after the main SKYUI mod, which is correct. I will return once more to Nexus and get one last SKYUI patch. This is the Ghost Item Bug Fix. Its description tells us that it fixes the issue where SKYUI's favorite groups may not equip correctly under certain circumstances, such as after upgrading items. Now, you might not even have or notice that you have this problem, but I am going to download it just in case. It won't hurt anything whether I have this problem or not. Its only requirement is that we have SKYUI. I do a Mod Manager download and watch it install in the expected way. When it's done, I can see all the SKYUI mods in my mod list. We can now move on and do the MCM configuration menu mod. We go back to Nexus and select Skyrim in My Games. Then we search for MCM. Here we can see MCM Helper by Parapets. This is what we want. There are several other MCMs, but we should leave them alone until we are more familiar with the subject. We click on the MCM Helper and can read that it simplifies the creation of mod configuration menus and that players will be able to spend less time in menus. This will become clear when we start the game and look at the MCM. Checking the requirements, we see that we have all that we need. There are 3 files, but we only need the main one. If you're curious, FOMod means Fallout mod. All that means is that it is a mod installer that was originally written for the Fallout games and has been adapted for Skyrim. Use the Mod Manager download and go straight to the slow download and installation. We select our game version. The ESL and the BSA choice are best for a beginner. Vortex puts the MCM Helper at the bottom of the load order. And there is a plugin. There are now 15 mods, and they are all enabled. We have installed all of our mods for today. Let's start Skyrim and see what changes have been made. Before we look at the effect of SKYUI on the inventory screen, let's look at the old inventory screen. We can see how it lists everything that we are carrying, and it allows us to filter our items into various categories. Now let's look at the new SKYUI inventory screen. We can see that it has changed. The categories are at the top, and on the left we can see listed all of the descriptions, weights, and values at once. You can see the icons here. If we hadn't installed the NoteFix mod, the screen would look like this. But since we have the NoteFix mod, we can see two different icons, one for notes and one for books. That's a small difference. Mods like this are one of the reasons some people have a couple hundred mods installed. You can get carried away modding. At the bottom, you can see the word favorites. Groups and favorites are a nice feature of SKYUI. It takes a few minutes to explain how to use groups with SKYUI, so I will devote my next video to this subject. You'll want to watch it. Now let's look at the MCM mod. First, let's see what we have before we install it. Press Escape, and the system screen comes up. If you look on the left side of the screen, there is no choice for MCM. Here's what it looks like after the MCM is installed. We can see mod configuration in the list. When we select this, we see that there is one mod installed that has a configuration menu. It is the SKYUI that we just installed. We click on it and it opens up more screens that give us the opportunity to make changes to the mod. One example would be the font size. You could change it to large or small. None of the changes that you can make in SKYUI are very interesting, but the MCM may offer you better opportunities to adjust mods that you install in the future. I install this mod mostly so that I already have it installed, in case I find a mod that requires it. We have finished setting up the SKYUI and MCM mods. Now we can continue installing mods that will change the appearance of the game.
Well, Derek walked us through SKYUI and the MCM mods. Now, the SKYUI has a feature called Groups, and I'm going to walk us through that in my next video. You'll be learning how to switch quickly between your sword and your magic casting and healing potions during combat. It'll be worth watching. It really improves your gameplay. I'll see you then.